Greetings, fellow aliens. So we're playing Dyson Sphere program again today. And as I've mentioned, each stream I'm trying to have a topic not or tangentially related to the game. In this case, it's not really related to the game. Oh, and I didn't update the stream title, did I? Hold on. Today's topic is the 7 SPHERE-itual laws of success. Hold on. Bear with me a second here. Update information. Did it go? I think it went. Need to move that window out. There we go. Which you can't see anyway. So, and also, as I also mentioned, there are VODs now. They should be available for 2 weeks each per video. Yeah, so let's go into the game. But the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, by Deepak Chopra. This isn't necessarily an endorsement of the book, but I thought since it's like really easy read and not complicated or anything, it might make an easy topic to talk about while trying to fix my horrible factory. And my main problem at the moment is not having enough power on this particular planet, which is called SPHERE-itual. So I'm consuming, or at least demanding, about 250 megawatts and generating, or at least receiving from the Dyson swarm 150. So that leaves about 100 megawatts that I need to beg, borrow, or steal. And I think that I can increase the yield of these ray receivers by feeding them graviton lenses. Except producing graviton lenses I have found to be difficult, at least producing them in enough quantity. Where's my graviton lens? There they are. See, we're still demanding more than we're producing. Got a couple production lines that are producing them in different places, and so we could attack the power problem by optimizing that. By, we're extending production lines for those, or maybe figuring out what their bottlenecks are. We could do that, or we could just do the brute force solution of continuing to add more of these ray receivers. Each one of those receives a certain amount of power from the Dyson swarm being those orbital solar sails that are in orbit. Not very easy. They're kind of obscured by our ice giant friend, and I'm not sure if that, how much that like actually affects the power output. Like we're going. It's like we're getting better line of sight on them, but they're this one's decreasing in power. I mean, they fluctuate as the planet orbits, but yeah, well, these ones I guess are really. Oh, something blinking at me over there. Really far back on this side, so they might not have a good line of sight. Planets being curved and all. Sorry, flat earthers. Yeah, so these ones are getting more power. More power. And how many of these receivers do we have? Just no? Oh, we got. Let's sort these so that. Oh, we've actually got plenty. Maybe not quite as many as we actually need. 4, 5, 6, 7. So 74 array receivers, and I think we need about. No, I think we need like 50, so that should be probably enough to solve our power woes for the moment. If we can find a place to place them. I don't know, maybe we could place them around the equator and like just to, you know, accept that they're not all going to be on the right side of the planet at any given time. So we could do that. But then we would need more of them. And I think, excuse me, I think that 74 would probably not be enough. And in fact, I don't know if we have space for 74 ray receivers. Let's see, well, at least not near the equator. Probably not in a lot of spaces on this planet. So another angle of attack. If I find it, yeah, it's over there. We are here near the Science Research Center, right? And it was eastish, I think. Am I heading the right direction? I think it was over here somewhere. Whoa! Forgetting how to fly. Looking for my my row of particle colliders. Is this it? I think this is no. These ones are doing something else. Speaking of which, yeah, okay. And that, so I was gonna say, these aren't the ones I'm actually looking for, but these are like taking a look at how much power these ones actually use, and it looks like it's not a whole lot. They're using 70 some kilowatts each. Although that might be different for a different like recipe, and they're not. And those aren't producing what they're supposed to be producing, but we're ignoring that for the moment. I'm lost. But these are the ones we were just looking at, right? Yeah. So welcome to my stream where you get to laugh at me for not knowing where anything is on my own planet, where everything that is there I placed there. I mean, everything artificial. The trees, I didn't make those. Okay, so there's where I'm trying to go. And where is it that I currently actually am? Okay. Okay. Getting there. Okay, and we just need to go up. In this case, up is south. That's fine. Up and slightly to the right. So here we are. Easy to find. And you're having... Why are you having a lack of material? No, oh, it's... critical photons, and okay, that was what last stream we set ray receivers so they can generate power or they can generate critical photons, and we have them on another planet generating critical photons and shipping to this planet, but they're not coming in a very great quantity. And so I was going to check on these, and they're not drawing a lot of power. Excuse me a second. Just had a cough there. Not a dry cough, fortunately. It's not a real cough in general, just some allergy grunk. So yeah, I don't think power is the problem with these, or at least, or no, I got that backwards. I don't think these are the problem for power. Gosh, I can't talk. At least not right now when they're not getting the materials to do their work. So maybe they're just, you know, at idle power. Maybe if they were getting materials, they'd use more power, but okay. So I guess we just need to find more places to put the ray receivers. So as usual, space is at a premium, or I should say area, land area, which I could alleviate, is that the right word? By making more land, but like that involves setting up a bunch of other production probably that I don't currently have, or alright, so I think we're just going to do it the brute force way and set up a bunch of ray receivers around the equator, because there's at least, you know, sufficient space there, or here. I'm in the wrong screen at the bottom here. Dyson sphere. Okay, and we just may need to manufacture some more of them if we run out, or when we run out. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. So just let's see, make sure they're actually connected to the power grid. It's not the equator, I think. It's like, well, pretty close it looks like. Pretty close to the equator. I'm going to set up as many as I can find room for. And, let's see, so are you... Okay, so you guys should have... Yep, you got connection to the power grid. And I don't know if having them in the shadow of these towers is going to be a problem. Like, or could I tell if it was a problem? What is your problem here? You can't foundation support. Yes, we all need a foundation of support, don't we? Nope. Go here. Come on. Oh, there's a spot right. It would fit. There we go. Mouse wasn't cooperating. Okay, and these are complaining because they're in the... Oh, nope, they're doing their thing. Am I going in the right direction still? Along the equator. Foundation support. Come on. What about here? Here, maybe? Yes. Thank you. And let's see. Over here. And here. And come on. Cooperate with me, please. There's a spot. Oh, there? There. So while I'm doing this, tedious task. Okay, is that gonna be... Go. Let me get into my topic for the day. Okay, am I going the right direction, roughly speaking? Okay, and you are gonna be way away from the power grid, aren't you? Like, if I can't connect... And I don't have any long-range transmission lines at the moment. I could place you over here, but you're still going to be far away from the other... Oh. So that just makes this entire... Unless I can find some way to connect transmission lines, or... yeah. Wireless power Tesla towers. Unless I can find some way to connect Tesla maybe? Ah, yes. There we go. Connect. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see, is that one going to be close enough? I think so. Yep. So it should be right. Maybe I'll make use of this real estate here. Since it's not being used for anything else. And maybe I'm going to regret that when it comes time to add some manufacturing or something. How's power looking now? Okay, so we increased it by like 15 megawatts or something. Alright. Not the greatest, but something. Then we can just make more of these and place them in semi-advantageous locations. Alright, sorry trees. The fact that we're running into, what are they called? Rail ejectors? Yeah, rail guns basically, means that we are no longer heading along the east-west direction. So yeah. So I was headed, so I've been placing these this way, and I need to go in that general direction, I guess. Until, wait, have I come back to where I started? Maybe I have. That's what it's all about. You get to laugh as I get lost in my own planet. Take that, you trees. I'll have my revenge on the planet by destroying all its trees. So these aren't going to help much, at least not while we're facing away from the sun and the Dyson swarm, which is mostly inward toward the sun. But not connected at all. How about that? It's letting me build out in the sort of marshy area over there. How many do I have left? 15 left. Just place everyone that I've got in my inventory. Okay. Foundation support. So while I'm doing that, let's take a look at our topic for the day, which I tried to do 10 minutes ago or something. So, chapter 1 of the 7-minute spiritual, I'm not going to read this whole thing, I'm just going to read like the main like law parts of the chapters, like the, what's it called? Epigraph? So, number 1, the law of pure potentiality. The source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potentiality seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we realize that our true self is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. So this is kind of a new agey book, and okay, I was in another window here and everything just got oh, because I pressed Alt or something. Am I still headed in the right direction? So it's a new agey book, and I don't know how you feel about that. And I myself have become a bit more skeptical in recent years of that kind of thing. Alright, so where do I need more receivers? Put some up there. On the idea of Chopra's sort of, I don't know, at least the worldview expressed in this book, there's like much more to it, or many like different things that he's said over the years. And I actually am not that familiar with all of it. But the worldview expressed in the book is there's like this, field of, call it pure consciousness, pure potentiality underlying all of reality. And I kind of, at the time, when I first read this book, and still to a lesser extent, find that like interesting. Let's see, I don't want to crowd my science towers here, and in fact, is this one too close to them? Like, I don't think that there is, as far as we can tell, a field of pure consciousness underlying all of reality. Like, there's just nothing to show that that is the case. But I do still think that that's kind of a powerful, like, idea of, like, how do I frame this? Like if you meditate and like visualize, you can think about like this. Well, you need some power poles, don't you? This, like this ocean of, I don't know, something inside yourself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be this like physically real concept. It can just like represent your subconscious, that like you sort of commune with, and like you can connect with it a bit. Like it's I mean, the idea in the book is that like the whole universe is made from something like this, but I don't think that to be the case, or at least I don't think there's any evidence that that's the case. But that doesn't mean that we can't, use the idea as a meditation tool or a psychodrama, to use a different word from sort of a different field. And we can, to bring things back to the game, we can sort of draw power from it, from this reservoir within us, whether it's our subconscious or whether it's, you know, something spiritual, if there is such a thing. Like, the point isn't whether, at least for me, isn't whether it's like, okay, having multiple windows confused me. Isn't whether it's like this physically real thing, but it's whether we can use it as a psychological tool to I don't know, motivate ourselves or sort of focus ourselves on what we're trying to accomplish. So Chopra talks about like practicing silence and meditation can mean a lot of different things, but these guys aren't doing anything here. So yeah, he suggests just like spending some time being silent. And I don't know if that's like, he talks a little bit about meditation, but doesn't really go into whether that's he thinks of that as the same thing. There's Zazen meditation, which is like you sit and stare at a wall, and like you try not to like judge things. You just observe your mind, and you just sit with whatever thoughts you're having. Try and be mindful. There's also kinds of meditation where you're visualizing something. And that's how I sort of approach the idea of pure potentiality. So I just picture like an ocean of, well, just like a vast sort of plane of water that responds to your mental suggestions and like represents your subconscious I don't know, subconscious resources. Speaking of resources, this guy isn't mining anything, it looks like. So what do you think about that, chat? If anybody is out there and wants to chat. Key. And I'm in the wrong place as usual. I think we're up here north, where we're producing some ray receivers and re-entering gracefully. Okay, there's our little assembler. Lack of material. Oh no. But here's a box of ray receivers over here. Oh, we've got, it's beautiful. We've got plenty of ray receivers. And we are going to lay them all over this planet to the extent that we can. In fact, I should like make more room in my inventory for them. If I'm gonna do stuff like that. Maybe we should like lay them near, as near to the poles as we can, because then like they'll have a better chance of having a line of sight on our sunward Dyson sphere, or Dyson swarm at this point. Will they get? Let's see. Maybe we can connect this one up here. Power grid, maybe? Oh, come on. Such a nice little island for a ray receiver. But I don't know if it's like Dyson sphere. Where are those red? Right. Not sure what this means. 5.57 gigawatts out of... Wait. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. This one's in gigawatts and this one's in megawatts. So why is that? Is that just what... Are we trying to... We're not trying to draw 550... Like, or 5.56 gigawatts on our Dyson swarm, are we? What is going on here? Oh, this is... that's not good. We're decreasing in solar sales. We used to be above 20,000, and that does fluctuate, but like, I don't know, that could partially be because our home planet is low on power, so the production lines aren't running at full capacity, which means they're not sending out the solar sails, which means that they're not getting the power. I don't know. So maybe as we add more power, this will go up. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on it. Anyway, before I set off and sprinkle some more ray receivers around the planet. Number 2, the law of giving. The universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe, and in our willingness to give that which we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. So this is like, I don't know, it's kind of like what most people think of karma as karma. Like if you do good, you receive benefits from it. Except that's, at least according to the book, it's a different thing. Like there's a law of karma that's separate from this law of giving. But does the universe actually work like that? Oh, looks like they are connected. That is an unexpected benefit. He's in the right mode. You're in power generation mode. Cool. Like, I mean, there are like conservation laws to the universe. Like, so if you have a system that, you know, has a certain amount of energy, and you increase one type of energy, you're gonna have to decrease another type. So like kinetic and potential, there's an exchange between those. But I don't think the universe cares about like giving and receiving what we would consider gifts. Not connected. I don't know, maybe I need to make sure these are all, like, check that these are the ones that I've placed so far are connected. Maybe that's a problem. That's I'm back near the equator, aren't I? Well, no. Actually, it's just not that big of a planet, so I'm kind of see, like, these ones aren't connected. Oh no. Let's put them along the coast here. Like, just because you do something nice for someone, that doesn't necessarily mean... Like, I don't think the universe is keeping score. People keep score. And, you know, people will reciprocate often. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes people will take advantage of others. Space here. But, like... So it's not like how... It's not necessarily how the universe works, but it's sort of how people work. Sometimes. Sometimes people are mean. And ungrateful. But, you know, doing nice things for others and that can pay off. I'll leave those windmills there because they work around the clock. Let's add another, maybe another one of these here. Yeah, we don't want to encroach on our science. Alright. So what about chapter 3? I think number 3 was the law of karma. The law of karma. Number 3, the law of karma, or cause and effect. Every action generates a force of energy that returns to us in like kind. What we sow is what we reap. And when we choose our actions that bring happiness and success to others, the fruit of our karma is happiness and success. And just like the other one, I don't think the universe works like that. Like, the universe isn't keeping score. People keep score. But there are, like, you know, cause and effect. Like, if you do risky behavior, it makes it more likely that whatever the risk that you're risking, for lack of a better sentence, is, you know, that it will come to pass. Like, if you play Russian roulette, you've got a 1 in 6 chance, assuming there's one bullet in the chamber. It's a 6-shooter. You got a 1 in 6 chance of blowing your head off, right? It's like statistics. There's and like I don't know, the laws of nature. So I mean, this not really saying anything that profound, that except that like so we're all in the dark here, and that disturbs me because these ray receivers are not gonna receive any rays, but we're gonna place more on other sides of the planet, so yeah, that'll all come out in the wash. Need foundation support. But Chopra also talks about, like, turning your negative karma into good karma. Like, I don't know. Like, if you learn a lesson from making mistakes or whatever, maybe you can teach other people that lesson, without them having to make your mistakes, and maybe that can come back to benefit you ultimately. Like, because I don't know, maybe you're making a living teaching this lesson. There's not going to be a lot of space left on this planet when I finish laying down all these whatchamacallums. Out of building range. So how's my power looking? Okay, so we've increased by like 5, I think. That's not a whole lot, and it's probably going to fluctuate. I don't know, it's been like relatively... Oh, that's not necessarily a good thing if it's relatively constant, because we're trying to make this go up. And oh, why is there more demand now? Why is there more... I don't know why that's increasing. Increasing downward because demand. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. What's going on here? I don't know. Maybe things are just coming back online because we've added the ray receivers, and like production lines for things like the solar sails can start up. Like, I wish I could like get a breakdown of this. Like, is it, you know, is it my solar sail production that's demanding a lot of power? Oh, see, this is going back toward its where it was, progressing toward the mean or something. Yeah, so that's the law of karma. So where is number 4 here? Number 4, the law of least effort. Nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. And when we harness the forces of harmony, joy, and love, we create success and good fortune with effortless ease. And I think this is just trying to say don't cut against the grain. Like, consumption demand's gone down. Like, there are ways that things work, and if you work against them, you can make things harder on yourself, maybe? See, it's also like another potential criticism of this kind of philosophy is that it's like it can be vague. It can be vague or unverifiable, and connect, please. Yes, thank you. Like, how do you measure effortless ease? I don't know. Maybe you know when you see it, things are easy for you. But like, certainly not very specific. And we're approaching on our science center again. But I think we're leaving enough space. We can always relocate these. It'll be fine. So I don't know. What do you think, chat? How can we be? How did he put it? Harness the forces of harmony, joy, and love, so that we can create good fortune with effortless ease. I don't know. Maybe taking good care of ourselves. Being true to ourselves. Could be. Like, if you spend all your energy trying to be someone who you're not, things are going to be harder for you, right? Or are they? Like, maybe you're doing that because you're in a situation where it helps you get along in life. But I mean, all else being equal, I suppose it's better to be be yourself than be someone else. Uh, 175, so that's good. Things are getting a little more harmonious for us here in the on Corniferous 3. I wouldn't call it effortless, but so what's number 5? Ah, yes. Number 5, the law of intention and desire. Inherent in every intention and desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. Intention and desire, in the field of pure potentiality, have infinite organizing power. And when we introduced our intention in the fertile ground of pure potentiality, we put this infinite organizing power to work for us. So this is where it gets more, well, for lack of a better term, it's more like magic in the occult sense of the word. As Aleister Crowley said, the art and science of creating change in conformity with the will. And as I said, I don't think that the universe works this way. Like, the universe doesn't care about intentions. It doesn't even have a facility for understanding our intentions except insofar as we understand them. Like, we are the understanding of our intentions, which is something that might sound profound, but is just more like a deepity. It's just like lack of item. Alright. So like the universe doesn't care about our intentions. The universe works according to mechanical laws. But the social universe and the psychological universe, by which I mean like our experiences. This is the wrong place to be here, isn't it? Could have left that one. But, as I said earlier when I was talking about law number 1, pure potentiality, you know, your subconscious does care about your intentions, I think. Like, if you connect with this reservoir of, I don't know, of something within inside yourself, like, your subconscious can work for you. Like, it's not something mystical, it's just like your brain does a lot more than you might otherwise give it credit for. And it can kind of grant your wishes sometimes. Like, and I don't know, I've found that I can, like, just have a conversation with my subconscious Sometimes it's kind of one way, or at least it seems so at the time. But like, you don't even need any like, or when I say you, maybe I would be a better term, because I don't want to generalize necessarily my own experiences to others, but you can, like, you don't need to like some complicated ritual or anything. You just can talk to your own mind, talk to yourself, and like, I don't know, sometimes it helps. I mean, if nothing else, you can sort of like get things off your chest by just talking to yourself a little bit. Leave those. Sometimes your subconscious, you know, the next day in the shower or whatever, will it'll, you know, give you the answer out of the blue. Okay, these guys are not doing much, are they? You ever had that happen? Like I don't know, as a programmer, that would sometimes, like I'd work on a problem, on a bug or whatever, or something I was trying to change I was trying to make to the code base, and I didn't know like what I needed to do with it, because code bases, just like Dyson Sphere program factories, can get kind of complicated. And so I'd, you know, be frustrated, and I don't know what to do, and, you know, just go home, get a good night's sleep, and then in the shower the next morning, bam, there's the answer. It just shows up in your mind. And so is there a way to do this reliably? Like, we don't want to just have the answer sometimes, right? We want maybe to systematize it, make it repeatable. So that's kind of what this book is about. Specifically, laws 1 and 5, right? We connect with pure potentiality, and Chopra talks about, like, you know, doing this in meditation or something, and then going into the meditation, either, you know, before the meditation or after it, you focus on your intention and sort of release it into this field of consciousness or whatever. I'm going here to pick up some more array receivers. Ah, there they are. And as I've said, as far as I can tell, the universe doesn't care about our intentions, but I don't know. Or maybe it does, and our intentions are just so jumbled up that, like, it's, you know, it's hard for it to grant our desires. But yeah, from a skeptical point of view, the universe might not care, but our minds do. Our brains, our unconscious. So let's set the intention of finding more space for these ray receivers. Did I just put one where... this one's not going to be connected to anything, is it? Oh, come on. You can... Ah, sweet. Should I thank the universe for that? Thank my subconscious? What about this one? Can we help this one out? It'll be somewhere here with... Ah, there we go. You know, sometimes it does help to, like, you don't know how you're gonna do it, but you set your mind, like, I'm just gonna look for an opportunity and try and make whatever it is you're trying to do, try and make it happen. Maybe it doesn't always work. But this process of dropping an intention into pure potentiality, as Chopa would put it, very similar to sigilization, which is a chaos magic thing. It's like you kind of write down what you want to do, you make a little, you work the, kind of modify the words into a little picture or some other kind of representation, and then you enter gnosis by whatever means. It can be sexual gnosis or meditation or some other kind of thing, like dancing. Spinning around a whole bunch. I tried that a couple times. But I don't know, for me, like, the more complicated the method, like, maybe it just distracts me. Like, I get focused on the method. And so it helps me to just, you know, just talk to my subconscious or talk to myself. Is the subconscious a real thing? I don't know. I know that there's more to your brain than the conscious, like the parts that you're normally aware of. There's something going on under the hood, you know? And as I said, there's not necessarily anything mystical about it, anything that would make a physicist scoff because it's violating the known laws of physics, at least as far as I can tell. So even if the universe doesn't work that way, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't work that way. So what do you think about that, chat? Anybody wants to chat? Oh, there's a spot over here somewhere. Let's see if I can manifest the desire that someone besides myself will speak in chat. And I'm connecting with pure potentiality here. Let me get a more transcendent picture up on here. Yeah, oh, look at those rays and our beautiful, beautiful Dyson swarm. Sorry if you can hear that, there's a fire truck going by. I'm connecting with pure potentiality. Do you want to do it with me? Let's just breathe in and out. Picture a field of pure energy stretching out in the universe. And it's within us. Whoop. It's within us. It's flowing through us. It's underlying all of reality. It penetrates the galaxy and binds all life together. Just setting this this intention into the field of pure potentiality that someone before the end of the stream, besides myself, will talk in chat. Visualize the ripples of my intention going out into the universe, into the Twitchiverse. See the ripples, see the surface of this field of this still pond of pure potentiality. See the ripples flowing out over this pond. And as these ripples go out from me, out to the rest of the universe, I release my intention. Will it come to pass? Maybe, maybe not. But that's part of the, part of the use of this kind of exercise is that now you're sort of freed from your intention. You've released it to the universe, and now you can get down to focusing on what you need to focus on. Which in my case is working on my power consumption on SPHERE-itual. But look at all this beautiful solar sailage. There's a lot of power. We just need to tap into it, right? So what do you think, chat? What intention would you release out to the universe? Or maybe you already did, as we were sort of doing that little exercise. I didn't tell you to think of your own intention, but I don't know. Feel free to try that. Maybe it's not the universe that manifests your desires sometimes. Maybe it's your subconscious. Or maybe it's just chance that sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. But even so, like, it can help to sort of to treat your intentions that way, or at least treat your wishes, your anxieties, can be a way to, like, I don't know, to let things go sometimes. Maybe that'll work for you, maybe it won't. As people were fond to say on the mailing lists I used to hang out on in my teens, your mileage may vary. But in any case, it's enough time drifting out in the cosmos here. Let's head back to Corneferos 3. See how our power efforts are proceeding. We've added quite a few ray receivers. Got some more in our inventory. Got 33. Probably need a bit more, don't we? I'm manifesting the intention of a graceful re-entry. Whoa. Not so graceful. So it doesn't always work. That's not necessarily the point. So we're gonna grab some more of these. And yeah, that'll be enough for now. Oh, and we're actually, our generation capacity is above our consumption demand. I wonder how that happened, because this, wasn't this like 250? Maybe the universe is just, you know, acknowledging our zenness, our harmonious interaction with effortless ease or something. I don't know. Now we have enough power, so I guess I don't need to lay too many more of these ray receivers, do I? I'll just lay most of these down. I'll keep a few just in case we need one or two for something. Actually, maybe I should grab a whole bunch and head off to the other planet to produce some critical photons. We have power now, so that's good. And is that... Wow. Look at all these. They're just all over the planet, aren't they? And are they covering enough of the planet? That's one question. So that we're not like... Maybe we'll put some more over here. Which is where exactly? It's by the South Pole. By the drone box. Alright, so yeah, let me grab some more of these. So we're just going to try and ensure that we have coverage as the planet rotates away from the... me. Oh, control, not shift. There we go. So heading to the South Pole-ish area. Oh, crap. Definitely an excellent flyer. By the drone box. Over here. That's where we want to be. There's some batteries, which we can always use. So if we don't want that kind of battery. But I do need some batteries. I mean, not urgently. Actually, we don't have room in our inventory for that. But we have enough that we probably won't run out before... Yeah. Okay, so the drone box, this was where I was going to... is this where I was going to put them? Navigation is hard. It's really using up a lot of real estate with these. Oops. You need some power, don't you? So, do just... yeah, let's stick them over here. Wonder if that'll... ah. Connected. Sweet. So, yeah, got coverage on this side, and we got hecka coverage on this side. I think that'll be fine. Until it's not. What about, how is our Dyson Swarm doing? Our sales have ticked back up. SAILS, not SALES. Like, not that we're selling stuff, we're sailing upon the solar wind. Our solar sales, we have 17,000 and increasing, so that's good. So maybe that's a good time for law number 6. Flipping in the little book here. The law of detachment. In detachment, I'm not muted, am I? Okay. Just checking. The law of detachment. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, the field of all possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. So again, Chopra is coming from a very theistic place. So what is he actually saying here in terms of just be detached? I mean, if you can. And I guess the stuff we were talking about, maybe that's sort of a strategy for detaching, like by visualizing releasing your intention to the universe or something. Maybe, okay, just sort of flipping through the chapter here, he's talking about sort of granting yourself and others the freedom to be as they are, not forcing solutions on problems, thereby creating new problems. Participate in everything with detached involvement. Factoring in uncertainty is an essential ingredient in your experience. And in your willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge out of the problem. And so that's sort of like what we were saying before about, you know, you sort of forget about it for a little while, and like maybe that just, you know, gives things time to like randomly happen, and like maybe what you needed actually happens, or maybe something else does, and you find some other way around your problem because, you know, before you were too close to it. He goes on, I will step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when I remain open to an infinity of choices. When I step into the field of all possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. Okay. So just, I don't know, letting things go. That's not always easy, is it? It's not as easy for some people as others. This was a topic on a previous stream, not of mine, but I won't name names right now because I don't know if they want to be named. But it's not always easy to let things go. But sometimes these kind of like so-called spiritual techniques can help with that. Not necessarily these, but like there's other kinds of like ritual that can help you sort of purge emotions, like frustrations, and like be, I don't know, be unburdened by it a little bit. Even if the ritual doesn't do anything, which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Not really talking about skeptically examining the value of ritual, but which that might be another topic for a stream at some point. But the act of like symbolizing your desires, or especially your frustrations, and you know, acting them out, releasing it to the universe, or releasing that pent-up energy in some way. You know, sometimes it can help. And this is like completely not, you know, Zen in the way that Chopra, I'm using Zen here as in a way completely detached from the actual practice of Zen, but it's not like positive in the way that Chopra would probably approve of, but sometimes like if someone is just, you know, just getting on your nerves and you can't let it go, but you have to work with them or whatever. You have to be around them and just bugging you. Sometimes it helps to just picture them being set on fire. Like, just, oh, here, let me help you with that by dousing you with water. Oh no, it's not water, it's gasoline. Oh, I mean, you're not actually going to do that. Like, don't actually do that to anybody, because that would be very cruel and probably get you in trouble a little bit. Unless you're rich. But like just, visualizing that and setting your problems on fire, like, it can be really, really cathartic. Maybe you don't do this with the intention of actually releasing the intent to the universe or something. You don't want them to actually be set on fire, probably. But like, you've seen, in a sense, in your mind, you've done it, and maybe it felt really good. And so you can get on with your life. And you can maybe, even though you still have to work with them or something, maybe they no longer have the power over you that they did, because at least not the power over your emotions, because you've purged that pent-up energy. And I'm just flying around here a little bit because I was distracted by talking. So I think we solved, as I mentioned, our as I mentioned, our power problem. So maybe we should try and solve some other problems with this factory. What else do we need to do? We wanted to... Oh, here's our science center. Graceful reentry. Nope, not really. So yeah, I changed my mind about what I said last time about how didn't want to bring these colored lines of colored science. That sounds kind of racist, doesn't it? There's white science and colored science. I did not mean it in that sense. These science cubes that have different colors, they are multicolored. They are diverse. I don't know. They are candy-like. This one's grape. This one's sour apple. And why are there no sour apple sciences? And what's this? Lemon. And there's more grape. I don't know why we have two grapes. Oh, the grapes are coming out of here and going into there. And what do we got here? The red ones are cherry? Cherry and blueberry, I guess? So what are the white ones? What are the white ones, chat? I don't know. What's a kind of candy that's white? Not white chocolate. Like I can think of one, but I don't remember what it's called. It's like a hard candy, but anyway, it's not very good, so maybe we don't want that kind of candy in our science. Maybe it's just blocks of salt? Sugar cubes? We'll say they're sugar cubes, right? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I decided I wanted to bring these lines of candy science, don't get distracted, of science cubes down here so that we don't actually have to switch back these. So like, I mean, the way it's set up right now, if I want to work on tech tree items, like, so they are like separate, like the ones that need the white cubes, the sugar cubes, if you will. I don't know, maybe they're cough drops, menthol cough drops. It's not very tasty. So the ones that require the white cubes are different from the ones that require the different color cubes. And that holds true, as far as I can tell, in the upgrade tree as well. But and so like we could just leave it so that like when we want to produce the white science and work on white science requiring research items, that we switch it so these are producing the science cubes and these down here are consuming them, and then when we want to use the multicolored science, or when we want to do the research items that require the multicolored science, we switch these towers so that instead of producing the white science, they're just doing research. But that's not a very, like, that's a, how should I put it? It's an inelegant solution. Like, we want something that we don't have to think of too much. We want something that, as long as it's getting the right cubes, is doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to have these colors of science coming down here and potentially feeding our research things, and then only do the research in these towers. So that, yeah, so that we just add whatever, not that we have that many tech tree items that we really need left besides the main quest one, if we even need that. Yeah, so we can just add whatever, and if they require the white science, then it'll get done in these, and if it requires the colored science, then it'll the multicolored science. Then these will also do it. Yeah. Talking. I'm good at talking. And I don't think that should be too difficult. There's, like, we only need the 5 different colors, and that should, plus the white, should let us have 3 on each side, which means we aren't going to have to route anything like between these towers. So that should make things easier. And I don't think we need to bring the antimatter down, because that's only used Like, that's not used for the research, it's only used to produce the sugar cube sciences. How high do we need to bring these up? Bring them up 2, I guess. And we still will need to optimize this production of, like, green in particular, I think, and probably our antimatter production before we can actually complete the main quest line. Okay, so you guys are coming down this way. Come in on this side. Let's see. We want to be on 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Whoop. Come like over here like this, and to ground level. Two. You are probably gonna be down on ground, I guess. I told you go back to ground level. Oh, come on. Just coming up to here. Alright, and 3. Come on. But I think having this better organized like this will mean we have to worry about how our science is set up a little less, which means more energy for our mech will have, or at least we will have, more more attention free for fulfilling our mech's purpose, which is our segue into number 7. Hold on, there it is. The law of Dharma, or purpose in life. So, the law of Dharma. Everyone has a purpose in life, a unique gift or special talent to give to others. And when we blend this unique talent with service to others, we experience the ecstasy and exultation of our own spirit, which is the ultimate goal of all goals. Ooh. So I don't know if this use of the term Dharma is the same as in other, areas of whatever, of like Buddhism, for example. Like I think in what's the problem here? Like, I think in Buddhism, the Dharma just means, like, the teachings of Buddhism. But Chopra uses it to mean, like, purpose in life. Like an ordained purpose that's sort of written into your nature. And maybe written into the universe. I mean, that's kind of a... Let's bring a little tower over here so this thing will have power. And you don't have power either, do you? I mean, that's like... That sounds great, doesn't it? Like, having the universe set up to fulfill your purpose. I mean, assuming it's the purpose that you want to fulfill. Talking about purpose a little bit in the last, was it the, not the previous but the one before that stream. And I don't think we really I don't know, I don't think it was that great of a, well, not much of a discussion because I was the only one talking, as I am so far in this stream. You know, no like super profound insights, I don't think. But Chopra's saying something else, I think, like the... I don't know. I think I kind of had my own interpretation of this when I was like into this stuff in high school. Not necessarily in high school, but during high school times. Like the way I kind of saw it was your dharma, your purpose, was like your source code, right? So you've got pure potentiality, right? Which is like this, it's like a field of computronium or something. Like, just like a computer will carry out its instructions, this will manifest intentions. And your dharma is like the intentions that make up who you are. Right? It's your DNA or something, but in a spiritual sense, I guess. And again, I'm not like saying this is how it is. I'm just, you know, saying what my understanding of it was when I don't know, maybe had a slightly different outlook on life. So your dharma was the source code or the design maybe of who you are, who and what you are, and what you're here for. And if it's this, if it's also like dropped into this field of pure potentiality, like the universe, like it's part of the instructions for what the universe will do. So if you're following your dharma, your purpose, right? And again, this is different from, I think, from the Buddhist concept of dharma. But if you're following this purpose, then maybe the universe will help you out. Is how I thought of it at the time. And like I was saying before, I don't think this is necessarily how the universe works. It doesn't care about our purpose in life, except insofar as we're like, I mean, it doesn't care. Like, caring is not a function of this this physical universe. But it's kind of, but it's not how the universe works, but maybe it's how we work. So you guys don't really need these cubes right now, but maybe it's how organizations work. Like, they've got sort of principles that they were set up with, or at least implicit principles, as far as how they What do you mean you have a lack of material? As far as how they work and what's important to them. You're still producing the sugar cubes. Sugar cube science. I don't know. Looks like we've got all the materials. Oh, we're lacking antimatter, aren't we? Yep. No antimatter. If I just like put it around like this. Yeah, you get the antimatter. Is that cheating? I don't know. Maybe you produce some white science for me? Nope. It's chugging along. And as soon as we optimize our antimatter production, we should get more of it. Is it actually, like, producing? Not at a very high rate, is it? Oh, nope. There's one. There's a sugar cube. A menthol cough drop, cubic cough drop. Are there any cough drops that are like cubes? Yep, menthol science. Menthol, blueberry, cherry, grape, lemon, and sour apple science. Except we don't have much green, and we don't have much sour apple, and we don't have much menthol. So, yeah. So purpose in life. I mean, so that's a question. Maybe you have some thoughts on that. If you want to put them in the chat. If anyone is out there. Is your purpose innate? Or is it something you can choose? And like, do you choose who you are? I don't know. I guess you choose what you do. And by its effects, I think that can affect who you are. But who you are determines what you do, right? Like, are you actually making a choice in a deterministic universe? And even if there's some randomness, as quantum mechanics, some interpretations of quantum mechanics would suggest, like, even if there's randomness, randomness isn't necessarily choice, is it? That's kind of getting into free will, which is a whole other can of worms, I suppose. So that's the 7 SPHERE-itual laws of success. Do you get it? Do you see what I did there? Plus me rambling about them and trying to optimize my Dyson swarm a bit. And, well, we solved our power problem, at least for now. We made a little optimization to our science. Do I want to end it there? I don't know. Feels like there's more to do. So I think I'm going to stream for a little while longer at least. But what do I need to do is the question. I need graviton lenses. And this is probably the point where it gets boring, so unless there are people to talk to. that I need graviton lenses, I need antimatter, and for antimatter I need critical photons. And we just try and figure out how to ramp up our production and hopefully not ramp up our power consumption greater than what we can actually output. So let us check on our antimatter factories. Or not antimatter. Yeah, antimatter. Okay, so those are to the north of south of us. And south is up in this case because the map is upside down for some reason. So how are you particle colliders doing? Phone ringing, hold on. Call from potential spam. So how are you particle colliders doing out there in twitch.tv land? So these are lacking critical photons, of course they are, because we're not producing that many on the other planet. Sphere is doing well. It's recovered its normal numbers. Okay, so we'll head back to Coniferous 4, which is our sister moon, orbiting our parent gas ice giant here, Coniferous 2. And see if we can't make this produce some more critical photons. Alright, slowing down. Ungraceful re-entry, but that is fine, I guess. How's the power consumption on this planet? We are generating a little more than we need. Your photon generation, and I wonder how do these, let's see, so alright, so we're at 84.5 generation, 55, ooh, call it 50 consumption, 45. So if I add another one in photon generation mode, no, why'd it go there? That wasn't what I wanted, but it's fine. Does that change the power consumption much? Oh, it's rising. Is it rising or no? It's been zigzaggy over the past. How long does this graph cover? 2 or 3 minutes maybe? So you are in photon generation mode, and Let's see, we'll add another ring of them and see how that... Foundation support? What are you talking about? I don't know, maybe this planet isn't as good as far as real estate goes. Oh, oops. How did I do that? That's weird. Because of these craters, or whatever indentations, whatever you want to call them. Can't put them down in the craters? How rude. There's plenty of foundation support. Bless me. Sorry, didn't mute it in time there. Alright, how's our power grid? Looks about the same, I suppose. Why is our generation capacity going down? Maybe that's just like a day-night rotation type deal? I don't know. Right, so belt these up. Belt them up. Belt them up. Most efficient use of belts? Probably not. Let's connect it back to the main belt. And do we add some more that we haven't belted? Photon generation, and you do not have a belt. I think everybody's belted who needs it. Right. So now our generation capacity is below our consumption demand. So I guess they do use some power. Really hard to tell with it fluctuating, but yeah. So I guess we add some more that are in the other whatchamacallit mode. We'll add them to the other pole, I guess, because that'll keep things simple, so we won't have like alternating rows of power generation and photon generation. And lacking some real estate over here. These are in power generation mode. Yep. Okay, good. So I don't know. Maybe it was just these ones rotating out of line of sight with the Dyson swarm that that caused the dip in power generation. So maybe adding some on this side. Got a cough, hold on. So maybe adding some on this side will balance that out and make it, well, balanced out. Like what I said. So how's it looking now? Alright, now it's slightly above. Add a few more for good measure. We'll do it around the perimeter just to be sure things are evened out rotation wise. And you are right there, that's fine. Well, sure, pause to save the game, that's fine. Maybe one in the middle here. Come on. Oh, there we go. Yep. So, power generation. Why did consumption demand go down so far? What did I break? Oh no. That might or might not be good. On the one hand, less power usage. On the other hand, are we failing to do something that we're supposed to be doing? Are you folks running out of iron? So that could be a source of used up these iron veins. Guess we're just using these. Using this one line of smelters. Probably don't need all of them. And I don't think we're using the smelting. Well, I don't know. Are we using this smelting to supply other things in the solar system? I guess we'll find out if we are having a shortage of iron. But maybe that was what the lack of power or the decreased power consumption was all about. Oh, and now it's back up. That's interesting. But we're generating more than we're consuming. So good, I suppose. Probably fine. But I think we probably don't need half of these. That power pole, don't need those. About that power pole. I don't think we need that either. So get some in transit. I don't know, once this one little vein is used up, we won't need this whole, we won't need this logistics tower, any of these smelters, unless we want to truck in ore from somewhere else to smelt it, but yeah. So how's our planetary resource consumption? Iron ingots, we're producing 400, consuming, I mean, we're producing more than we need on this planet, but what about the whole system? We're consuming more than we're producing. Slightly. But do we want to do anything about that? Right now? Maybe we'll add some more iron mining on this planet. We'll add some iron mining, but not smelting, I think. Because we've got smelting on the other place. If we have any more iron on here. Silicon, stone. I don't know, maybe we're already tapping all the iron veins over here on Coniferous 4. Yeah, oh, no. There's some that are already also tapped out. Yep. So yeah, I think iron production might be not this planet's problem. Just leave those like they are because but maybe we need to mine some iron on our home planet, which we'll head back to now, just in case iron turns out to be a bottleneck for some other process that, you know, like solar sails or some other thing that we're trying to produce. There it is. So how's our iron production on this planet looking? Oh, alright, I am not re-entering gracefully today. performing at capacity, it looks like. What other iron have we got? Iron veins, 2 left over here. Iron ore. Still got 200,000 units of ore on the planet, so that should be fine for a while, right? The only thing we run out, or we don't have any silicon and titanium on this planet, but that we never did. So where are iron veins? I don't know, maybe I just need to add more mining over... Yeah, I think we're like... kind of tapped out on iron here. Nope, there's some. But that's like... that's all mined. Or it's being mined. So... more iron. Iron veins. It's being mined. Yeah, so let's head to... well, let's make sure we have some mining equipment. We've got power, we've got some ways of getting power. Power poles, rather, and ways of getting power to them. And belts, we've got belts. Got your belts ready. Got enough batteries to last. Alright, so let's head to Corniferous 1 and mine some iron. Meanwhile, anybody have any thoughts about the 7 spiritual laws of success that we've been talking about this, or I've been talking about? You guys haven't been talking much. That's fine, I suppose. Lurker says what? We get to fly through a Dyson swarm here, or at least fly near it. So I guess I'll review what the laws were in case anyone's tuned in. What was it? The law of pure potentiality, and I can't quote the laws verbatim. We have iron on this planet? Maybe? Stone, copper. There's some iron. Let's minus some iron. Wonder how long it'll take before we have to ship in the iron from other star systems. So, let me just belt it over. Yeah. May as well just bring it over with belts. So, And we'll do it on this side. So we had the law of pure potentiality, which is about this like field of pure consciousness. Underlying all of creation, all of existence. I suppose one could interpret it as being the mind of God, if there were such a thing. I like to think of it as my subconscious. Alright, so run some power poles to here, run some belts from here. We don't need to connect these, do we? We just run them as separate lines so that we can get more throughput. Oops. We'll just start with one at a time. And then there were a couple laws about like karma, not using the terms in the normal sense, well, sort of, as like giving and receiving. And as I was saying, I don't think this necessarily works. Like, the universe doesn't care whether you give things to people, but people do. So it's like, it's not like the universe works that way, but people kind of work that way. So I wonder what it might like. What if someone wrote like a New Age book, but not New Age? Like, you know, just from a scientific point of view, like going over the same kind of concepts but with an eye toward, you know, keeping things scientifically accurate and not assuming, at least, unproven concepts like God or a mystical energy field or field of pure consciousness, for lack of a better word. So then there was the law of number 4, I think, which was the law of least effort, if I'm getting that right. I'm not looking at the book right now. Okay, we're getting our ore over here. We're going to remote supply, local demand, and it is storing, not transporting any yet. I don't know if are we demanding ore remotely at all? Maybe we will set that up on our other planet. Back on Corniferous 3. Sunlight there. The law of least effort. which is kind of the most, I think, confusing one. Like, but I guess if you're following your purpose in life, if you're being yourself rather than someone else, then I suppose things will be more effortless. But on the other hand, it's not always clear what the path of least resistance is, and it might not always be available to some people. So then we had the law of intention and desire, I think it was, number 5. Which was about like connecting with this field of pure potentiality, which I like to think of as just my subconscious, because I'm a skeptic. And like releasing your intention, right? Like release your desire into the field of pure potentiality and let it go. Easier said than done sometimes. Right, heading to the ground. Let's see if we can find a tower that has a space on it. This, about you. Alright, so we're going to do iron ore, local supply, remote demand, and we got some in transit. Sweet. So how does that affect our... Probably take a little while for the ingot production to get back to. Yeesh. Has demand increased? Looks like it has. I don't know what's with that. But ore production, we're producing more ore than is required by quite a bit. So maybe we just need more smelting of iron. So I had a smelting facility somewhere over here. Let me turn the power grid lines off so that I'm not it makes things easier to see. Okay, here it is. Our smelt... What did I call it? Smeltopia. Alright, so it should just be... No, where are we actually? So here is where we are. And we want to get to... Not there. Is that it? That's not it. So, yes. Okay, so it is... That's not it. Right. Okay. So it's like south of this line of towers here. Except we're nowhere near the towers, are we? How do we get to the towers? It's like all the way across the planet. Right, so we just head east, I think. I think this is east-ish. That should get us there. Or it could put me somewhere. There it is. Alright, iron smelting. Is there any of that going on here? It's a question one might reasonably ask. And I do not see any iron smelting. I see steel, which requires iron. In fact, has... No, I guess we're producing all the iron or all the steel that we need. But we're not smelting any iron here. So, how shall we do that? Do we have smelters with us? 70 of them. That should be enough. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 6, and a little too close to the tower for this, but it'll be fine. I think this tower is currently only being used for sending out crystal silicon, whatever those green things are. So hopefully there will be room. Actually, it's doing... So we've got one space in this tower. So we can either receive or send from it. I think we'll receive from it, but send a different way. Okay, so we're going to receive iron ingots. No, iron ore. Demand. And some filters. Filter. Where were we smelting this? Because I know. Anyway, we probably then need another tower, unless there's another thing that with a space free nearby. Nope, need another tower. Another tower, which would need some power. And some drones. It's going to send iron ingots. Supply them, rather. So you are going to come up like this. And you're going to come up like this, and across like this, down, and into the tower. Then we had power for these guys, and power, and whoa. Power and power. We need this one. And I could have just told them the recipe. Okay, I guess we do need another one. Another power tower. Iron ingots, iron ingots. The patch notes said that they were going to add more copy and paste type functionality. Although that might have just been sorters. I don't know if you're going to be able to copy and paste recipes. And speaking of sorters, we add some to each of these. Alright, in this way, out that way. Oh, and as I was saying, what was it? Law. What were we on? We talked about number 5. Then there was 6, which was... forget what that was. I could look it up. Number 6. The law of detachment. Easier if you're not worrying about things, I suppose. But how not to worry about them? Well, meditation might help. Maybe therapy. Ah, and these are functioning beautifully. Putting out some iron ingots, sending them to the tower. And it's got some out in transit, supplying them to whatever it is that's using them. So, now we are supplying more than is required. Wonderful. Ouch. Excuse me. Until we next require more than we're supplying. Wonder how long that will take. So we hopefully we're supplying some more critical photons from the other planet. Before we got distracted with the iron. I don't think that has affected our science a lot. So let's check on the other planet again and see how it's doing producing critical photons. Actually, first, let's check on our particle accelerators, which are somewhere near the equator here. Can't be hard to find. Just look for the things that aren't ray receivers. Maybe? There they are. Splash down. So you are still not getting any critical photons. You poor baby. Okay, so to the other planet we go once again. See if we can increase that production. So we've got drones here first before we try that. Okay. But first, oh, it's right there. Okay, let me just blast off here and head in that direction. Alright, so let me check on these interstellar towers. So you are supplying these critical photons, and I'll increase that, as may as well fill up a drone with them. I don't know. I'm actually not sure how the best way to do this is, but we're not producing these in great volume, it seems. I'll just set this at 1,000. So yeah, I think that'll mean we're taking them 100 at a time to the other planet. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we're producing more than that. Maybe we'll set it at 2,000 max storage, so that we'll send them 200 at a time. I don't know. So then we had, what, a local tower? Somewhere over here, maybe? Yeah, it looks like, are these photons? Looks like it. So North Pole. Okay. Yeah, we're not getting too many on this line, but I think it's more than we were. So, alright, so I'm going to just pause for a second, take a drink of water. BRB. I'm back, fellow aliens. Did I miss anything? So I guess maybe we just keep adding the photon supplying ray receivers up here, and keep adding the power generation ray receivers on the opposite pole. Which pole are we on now? This is north, so add the power generation on the south pole until, you know, until we run out of space, or until we have enough photons to produce the antimatter that we need. Power. Wait, what's the critical photon production look like in this screen? There it is. Zero consumption. What kind of BS is that? Oh, that's... No, wait, this is the whole system. Should be consuming them. Went to all the effort of producing them. Producing 8.4 per minute. I don't know, maybe they get batched up and then all consumed within a short time frame. So yeah, it'd be good to have a way to visualize our, like, where everything in it is in our production supply chain, if you will. Is that what a supply chain means? I don't know. Yes, our chain of facilities producing things and consuming them, producing other things. So yeah, I suppose we just keep adding these until the sugar cube science starts ticking down. Is the plan that we're going to go with today. So let's try and keep these in a ring so they're easy to keep track of. And of course, craters, making it hard to keep everything and other things that I've already put at this latitude. Lack of item. Shoot. Alright, well. Out of building. Wait. Why is this belt so far from the thing that it needs to be supplying? So then there was, what, one more law that there was the law of Dharma, or purpose in life. And I don't think the universe cares about your purpose in life. I think it's more of a human thing. That... Oh, that was weird. Or at least there's no evidence of the universe caring. But humans care. Your mind cares. Subconscious. And it might be producing more power because, or consuming less rather, because the ray receivers are on the other side of the planet, from the sun, from the Dyson swarm that's near the sun. Alright, so heading back home to grab some ray receivers. Grab some ray receivers, dump whatever we don't need in our inventory, grab some belts because we always need some of those. And I think there's our mall area where we can dump stuff in a junk drawer storage container. Right, no, this isn't the mall area, is it? We do have a junk drawer here. Oop. What don't we need? Well, let's see. Don't need the raw material type stuff or the individual science cubes. But yeah, we can drop those off down. Well, I'm not sure if it's south. I think of it as south, but this direction here, which is actually west, I believe. East. Okay, so east there. Grab some batteries while we're here because good to always have a few of them. But we don't need a lot of windmills or mining equipment while we're trying to do ray receivers at scale. What are these junk drawers full? Alright. So I don't think we need miners, we don't need smelters, we don't need assemblers. We probably should keep some power poles. We don't need windmills, we don't need those thermal power stations. We don't need iron ore. Don't need a particle collider. We don't need... keep some towers around. Don't need the orbital collector right now. I mean, we will need all this stuff, but we don't need it as far as our current project of setting up ray receivers goes. Don't need splitters. Splitters are good, I suppose. Sorters. We don't need these oil facilities. We don't need a water pump. We don't need a chemical plant. So that ought to make some room. And we'll grab some belts, because we always can use some belts. And the rest of the space we will take up with ray receivers, which we'll get from Santa's workshop in the North Pole. Some Santa required. I am not recommending this necessarily as a way to organize your factory. I guess we didn't need as much space as we made in our inventory. This is my first playthrough of the game. I've been playing it, I think, does it say anywhere? If I save it. Save. But so I've been playing for 85 hours, not straight, in separate sessions, like over the course of a couple weeks, of which I've probably streamed 10 or so, maybe less. But it is suffering from a lot of design decisions that one would not necessarily choose in hindsight. If one were starting fresh, having known a bit about the game. Alright. Which way is north? Right. Alright, and we're just gonna keep adding ray receivers here, and these are set for photon generation, right? Yeah. Just put them a little closer to the pole if possible. And actually, this latitude. I'm just gonna keep adding them. Okay, so let me belt these up. And yeah, as I said, I wish there was some kind of like visual indication as to whether these are set up for photon generation or power generation when I'm belting them up, so that I would know which ones that I need to supply belts with, or supply from belts, rather. Actually, wait, so is there power generation? Photon generation? Yeah, no. No visual indication. Just go up here. Yep, this one's already belted. Right. I mean, I could just change all the ones on this pole to photon generation, right? That way it'd be really simple to tell if you're on this pole, then you're generating photons where you should be. That photon generation. Then I will probably have to add more power generation on this other pole. Speaking of which, power generating 64, consuming 55 megawatts. This looks like we are consuming more than before. But not much more than we're producing. We're not consuming less than we're producing. So we can't put stuff here, can we? So how many not belted ones, which are all presumably doing power generation, do we need on this do we have on this pole? So if we switch to no, not that one. That one? Yeah. And not that one. So am I counting that right? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So if we switch these over to photon generation, we should add 9 power generation on the opposite pole. Okay? So we are going to cut them now. Oh, we're going to have grid weirdness, aren't we? Because this is near the pole. Photon and photon. Not you. Photon. Photon. Might need more than 9 because on the other pole, because a lot of these are very close to the pole, which means they'll have more line of sight on the Dyson swarm. There's this one. Really? Come on. There we go. And photon generation. Is that all of them? Looks like everything is belted up except, no, that one's 2. So do we get photon? We built it up. Nope. So I think that's everything. And power. I don't know. But we better just go ahead and add some power generation on this pole. Whoop. This is the south pole. Generation. Alright, so add what? I think 18 maybe to make up for latitude. 2, 3. Come on. Be nice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? No, maybe 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Can we fit another one? 19. There's some more space here. May as well use it up. So yeah, power generation has gone up a little. Not a whole lot. But that ought to compensate for the ones we decommissioned on, or changed their, their assigned mode on this side of the planet. So our line out of this part. What's it looking like? I don't see a lot of critical photons on these belts. What about on the sunny side? Are you folks producing anything? Maybe? Takes a while, doesn't it? So, been streaming for a while. 20, let's see, 3.5 hours. That's probably good, I think. I'm gonna probably add some more of these ray receivers off stream, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed as much of this as you watched. Thank you for watching, and until next time, so long, fellow aliens.